Labour says it wants to give parents in England a stronger voice in the running of schools. The Prime Minister has announced plans to allow parents to vote on whether to replace their school's leadership. Increasing choice in education has been a prominent issue on the Conservative agenda and is expected to be a central issue in the election campaign. Our education correspondent Sarah Campbell is with me with more details. Sarah.
Thanks, Hugh. Well, with an election looming, the parties are scrapping over who will most appeal to parents. The promise of power to influence how their children's schools are run is proving popular, though different parties plan to deliver it in different ways. Today we heard Labour's big idea. They want 500 accredited schools across England by 2015, which would share their expertise with failing schools. And parents who think their child's school isn't good enough would be able to hold a ballot and vote to replace the leadership team with that of an accredited school.
Today I want to set off a chain reaction in our schools, with these recognised brands merging with or taking over our weaker and our coasting schools. Taken together, our reforms will raise standards in hundreds of schools.
This school in Sidcup is one of the first in the country to be awarded the Accredited School Kite Mark, having helped to improve the performance of 3 other schools. But opposition parties say the proposal's a gimmick, short on detail.
This strikes me as being the sort of dotty idea dreamt up by a government advisor in the bath on a Sunday night, without actually thinking through the detail. And it's extraordinary that we're debating today in Parliament an education bill right at this end of this government, and it doesn't have these proposals in it, which causes one to ask whether this is really a serious idea.
Parents may like the idea of a vote, but what about staff?
Well, I think it's reckless of the Prime Minister to introduce a measure to make it so easy for parents to start the process of getting rid of the head teacher. I think this will destabilise schools at a time when perhaps the head is trying to introduce unpopular but necessary measures to improve the performance of the school.
The Conservatives have been looking abroad for inspiration. Here in Sweden and in North America, parents are free to set up and run their own schools using government money.
It's this model of parent power, creating small schools independent of local authority control, that the Conservatives believe could provide an extra 200,000 places in England.
What we really need is radical change, to give head teachers the powers that they need to keep order by excluding disruptive pupils, to give those same head teachers the power to pay good teachers more so that we can get even better people in the classroom, and critically, the power for new schools to be set up so that all parents can have what only the rich can currently afford, smaller schools with smaller class sizes.
And of course, while parents in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland may view these ideas with interest, they're only being suggested for school reform in England. Hugh.